Chris, will AD be able to save the Lakers? And we're going save at this point.
Yeah, well, save. Look, if by save you mean guarantee that they're going to win the West and get to the finals, I'm not ready to go there after they beat up on James Harden and the Nets ball boys. But if you mean by save, make them a viable contender, I will go there. I do think that's possible. Look, the West is open. It's more open than we thought maybe a month ago. Phoenix is great, but they're not frightening anybody. Golden State, Draymond's having injury issues. Klay Thompson hasn't regained his form. Steph is going through the worst slump of his career. Utah's Utah. Memphis is young. So, yeah, can they get back to being a legit contender? I believe so. And here's what AD has to do, because it's all on him. All right, I've given up hope for this time being of AD getting back to the top of his game. I will take near the top of his game. If AD can get near the top of his game, then I think you've got two roughly top 10 players in the league. One of them can dominate the interior. One of them can dominate the perimeter, that obviously being LeBron. So I need AD to take care of things inside. That's it. And I know everybody who talks about the three and wants to shoot the three, but we know what led Milwaukee to that championship. Size and Giannis dominating the paint.
Yes.
Phoenix with DeAndre Ayton, he's tough in there. So AD, he's shooting 17% from three. I need him to shoot more shots in the paint. He's fourth in the league in paint points per game. So dominate inside, and then the same thing on the defensive end. Because one thing AD's not going to do is make the Lakers younger, and he's not going to help them keep people in front of them, keep people from driving past them to the basket. They're like bottom 5 in points in the paint allowed. So because guys can get to the rim against the Lakers, they need a rim protector, and AD can be that. Last night, 3 blocks in his first 6 minutes. I'm not expecting 4 blocks a game, but if he can alter shots and block shots near the rim, I think that can work, and everybody moves down. Now Malik Monk, some nights I don't need him to be the second scorer. Now he moves down. And Russ, I know Russ is the issue. I think Russ has been humbled enough where they can talk to him because he understands. We saw his apology, right? After, or not apology, but statement when he was benched. Mm-hmm. He understands that the only way I can help myself is to win a championship. Nobody's going to care if I average close to a triple-double. If I get 15 points a night, that's people, and we win, people are going to give me props for that. So I think they got to talk to him about, look, man, play up his energy. We love your energy. We need it. We're an older team. We need that energy. We want you to make hustle plays. We want you to get out in transition. We want you to concentrate on defense. All right? We want you to, get to the rim and try to finish at the rim. You get rebounds, long rebounds, loose balls, hustle plays. That's what they need from Russ, and I think he's in a place where he might accept that. So, yeah, I've always said they got a puncher's chance, and with AD, I definitely feel like they do.
Go ahead.
Well, you
I want to hear what you got to say. No, go ahead.
You're Mr. Laker.
Nah. I want to hear what you got to say.
Shannon.
I want to punch holes in your argument.
Like I do in yours? Okay. The key stat that Chris just referred to is over here in this almost far right column.
There you go.
And it's BS, and it could be just a whole lot of BS. And you've been just dismissing it as just a whole lot of BS, but it's a 4.
Yeah.
And it's 2 more than LeBron had last night, and it's way more than anybody on the Nets had last night because it's called blocked shots.
Yes.
What was the key line of the post-game interviews? We heard LeBron, we heard AD, blah, blah, blah. No, I wanted to hear Frankie V, as in Frank Vogel, and his line was, I shall read it again. Speaking of AD's return, he really changed things for us defensively at the rim.
Yes.
His anchor to our defense is something that has been sorely missed.
Yes.
This team, the last 2 years, ranked #1 in defensive efficiency and shockingly has plummeted to middle of the pack.
Right.
It's been 17th, 16th. After last night, it rose up because it held the Brooklyn Nets, as he said, the ball boys and James Harden, to 96 points.
Right.
It's now 15th. It's still dead solid middle of the pack on defense. LeBron has ranked below 200 all year in defensive win shares individually. He has now risen all the way to 175th.
We're going to finish in the top 50.
Top 50? Yeah. Okay, well, last night you had 2 blocks because you're really good at stealth blocks, ambush blocks. You can come from behind, but AD, and it shocked me last night. I was watching AD and LeBron just stand next to each other. They almost look like they're the same height. Seriously, it's very close. But what is AD that LeBron is not? AD is incredibly long. Yeah. And so he plays much bigger than his, whatever he's listed at 6'10"-ish, somewhere in there. So the point is that LeBron got all this credit, which is fine because he had to play the 5, Usually he can play the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can play the 5. Okay.
Is that a lie?
It's not a lie, except on defense, he can't play the 5 because he can't anchor. He can't rim protect because he's really not into it anymore because his focus has gone all offense, and I'm not condemning him for that. He's still in high attack mode on offense because he's chasing Kareem, and I think he's chasing a scoring title only the second.
We don't chase anything, Skip.
Yes, you do.
But we're close. But here's the thing, Skip. Let me ask you a question. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, LeBron, you do realize in order to get assists, guys got to make shots. So, in other words, Stanley Johnson, who's played really, really well, is on his third 10-day contract. You signed Avery Bradley the Wednesday before the season started. So you do realize in order to get assists, Chris, if I'm not mistaken, you pass the ball to a guy and the guy puts the ball in the basket. Now, guys that they were counting on, Kent Bazemore, Trevor Ariza, coach's decision. Wayne Ellington, coach's decision. Dwight Howard, DeAndre Jordan, all coach's decision. Kent Bazemore got in there 136. Guys that he started the season. Austin Reeves, undrafted. So you're asking guys to do things. LeBron can't sit in the chair anymore. Even when LeBron was at his peak, he would play a quarter at the fourth quarter. He would take Tim Duncan. Or he would play. But you're asking him to play the entire game? Nah, he can't play the entire game, especially going against a Jokic, going up against a DeAndre Ayton, or going up against a Joel Embiid. No. But if you need spots here and there, sure, he can do that. But Skip, I mean, come on now. You asking this man to make it work. You said he has to overcome Russ.
He does, and he did last night. But he's also taken the 3rd most shots in the league, so he's all offense and very little to no defense.
Well, I mean, what guy? Okay? Hold on. You tell me the guy that's up there that's challenging with shots that plays defense. None of them?
I don't know. Does Jason Tatum play defense?
No!
Paul George plays defense. And he's
Paul George ain't played in 2 months.
Oh, well, he's played defense in 2 months.
No, Paul George don't play. Paul George can not Skip. He's not the same Paul George that sits in the chair. Those guys, nobody's sitting in the chair like that anymore, Skip. Those days are over. Even Kawhi, Chris, you remember the last 3 years, Kawhi ain't playing defense like he was known in San Antonio in his first year in Toronto. He ain't playing defense. The guys don't play defense like that. Kawhi's turned into an offensive juggernaut. My guy, Skip, I just got to go. My guy in year 19 is doing things you couldn't even dream of. When you lay your head down on that pillow next to Ernestine and you go, man, he's going to be terrible this year. I just know it. He averages 29. He averages 7.
And they're 24 and 24? Yikes.
I'll tell you what. I sure would like to see, you know what I'd like to see? Kevin Durant play alongside Russ and Avery Bradley and Stanley Johnson and Horton Tucker and Melo and Austin Reeves and Bazemore. What you think his record going to be, Chris? You really
not
just
that
last
good.
week. Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah, just last week they lost by 37 at Denver, and then they turned right around and trailed Miami by 26.
And guess what? And we got it all the way down. Script, we had last night, we had 8 turnovers. I ain't going to say who had 5 of them, but we had 8 turnovers, and you know who had 5.
Yep.
Don't do it, Skip.
I'm not going to do it. I won't do it because we don't have time, but I'm going to sum this up to answer Jenny's question. I do believe that AD will save them, as in elevating them to the 4th best team behind Memphis and Phoenix and Golden State.
The 4th best team?
Yeah.
They're going to pass Denver.
Absolutely. Past Utah. Utah's past them. Utah.
Utah. I don't know what's going on with Utah.
Well, I don't know.
They're free falling.
They've lost what?
I don't know about Denver. I don't know about Denver. Jokic is on another level. You see what Jokic
not
doing?
on Embiid's level.
Oh, you see what Jokic doing?
Yeah.
28, 21, and 9.
Yeah. What's wrong with their team? 25 and 21.
Hold on, the man missing with Jamal Murray, the guy missing Michael Porter Jr. Come on, Skip, man. And he's still doing that?
Embiid's missing Ben Simmons. He's still doing that.
You told me Ben Simmons nothing.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.